Hi there, Selective Collective. This is Kim here to do a reading for you guys. It's a collective reading for the people that have chosen to show up. And thank you for showing up. If you want a private reading, let me just go ahead and say there's three prices from $22 to $60 in the description box below. The links are how you can get one. They're pre-recorded. Please add me to your email whitelist so that I don't get it put in your spam folder. And oh, thank you for your comments, thank you for your likes, your subscribes, all of that stuff. You know I love you all. So let's get into the reading. What's interesting, okay, before I get a comment on this, I know that the song that came through for the collective reading, I know what it's really about versus what I'm getting out of it. So we're going to say, for the sake of the reading, that this song is what I'm getting out of it for you all. But it's a beautiful song, and it's by a group called Soul Asylum, and it's called Runaway Train. It was very popular back in the day. But it goes something like, runaway train, never going back. I'm on something for a one-way track. Seems like I should be getting somewhere. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. He says, somehow I'm neither here nor there. I can go where no one else can go. I can know what no one else can know. And then, I know I'm getting it jumbled, right? But how on earth did I get so jaded? It seems that life's mysteries are seeming so faded. It's a one-way track, okay? That's how I feel this spiritual growth, ascension or track is going to feel like, especially in the beginning, because I see this runaway train track as being something that is running away from typical matrix tracks or circuits. It's going in a different direction, and because of that, and because of what you know, but you're in the beginning, possibly even like in the beginning, the quest for becoming more united usually ends up with us feeling more detached. Or like we're on a runaway train. Don't really know where we're going. We just know that it's one way once we've decided to board this train. So I'm talking to people that are on a fast track spiritual ascension, and it is scary sometimes. There's lots of big emotions that come up, so I would think it'd be very emotional because of lots of emotions that come up for us to process. The happy, the bliss, the crazy, the sad, and the gloomy, all of it. So, and at times you can feel like you're getting nowhere, but of course, hindsight, when we're looking back, we can see how much we've developed, how much we've grown, and then we're able to also pick out the things optimistically that were actually in our favor for any kind of stuckness or stillness that we had to experience that maybe was even uncomfortable. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Big energies. Big. How on earth did I get so jaded? Life's mysteries. He says I was a key that could use a little turning. I love that line. I was a key that could use a little turning. Because key is always within us. We've always had the key. On this track, it seems like the energy or spirit, your spirit guides, your angels have given the extra oomph that was needed to turn it. Yeah. right. And the smoke. And the smoke. Okay, my lotion is all over these beautiful cards. These are Kim Krantz cards. They're all over them. What do you have to say? It's a new cycle, and this is your works begin. Okay. Silver has come out so much. Pluto. Yep. Yep. And the spark of light. Nice. 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 I don't know why, but I always have like a difficult time with the silver card. Not really sure why, actually. Like, not that it's difficult to interpret. I'm just not wholly satisfied with the way that I'm interpreting it sometimes. So let me tell you, it is supposed to represent that it can get tarnished and it can look kind of cloudy. It can look maybe even something other than silver. But ultimately, when you polish it off, or this could be akin to doing the work that it takes to move past past memories, the hardships, the struggle, the negative energies possibly that even become attached to us, clouding up like smoke, clouding up the top of the silver. We just have to polish it off, and then we shine. That must be a message where I have a hard time describing this card, because it's like a person in their life that is on this major Pluto transformation where there's destruction in order to create, and there's major transformation, and it's an underworld energy. And in this dark energy, just like the silver, it can be a daunting task. It can be like you're believing a magician telling you, I promise you will shine. You've been doing this for a long time. I promise you're going to shine brighter than you ever knew. And it's sometimes hard to believe just how big this transformation that you're going through is actually going to affect everything about you, from everything. Everything. Of course, it begins with your thoughts, your processing of emotions, and it's intertwined with all of these changes within the physical body too, and aches and pains, and real spiritual growth. No bypassing here. There's no bypassing. This is a process. And so with the silver card, it can be hard for us to even when we're getting signs and synchronicities from the universe, when we're getting lots of things like that, it can be daunting to know that this is ultimately what's going to shine really bright about you. Now, just a tidbit is when I get because I'm human just like everybody, and I get those feelings of hopelessness, I have days where I will definitely be like, even if one or two things are going great for me, I will look at not necessarily the things that aren't, but the amount of time I will look at, and it's hard to equate it with the progress when I'm feeling kind of down. On those days, what I do is I tell Spirit that, and usually I don't even have to say it, because usually they're just going to automatically know that when Kim gets like this, we're going to have to show her more signs. We're going to have to show her more synchronicities. And that's what I ask for, is show me today, universe, lift my spirits up and show me why this is right, and why even my voice shake there, why this is right, and why why this is good. Show me the things to have hope in. Prove to me in some way that this silver is going to shine like that, because that is it's hard getting past a mindset that always wants to see something before it's there, you know. But I feel like Spirit and your angels, they're really working with us when it comes to that, because they understand that perspective, and they understand why people would have that perspective of, well, I need to see something to believe it, and therefore this is an intense ride, and it is an intense spiritual growth process. I think it's actually like this because of that need to see results and things that actually are witnessed, not just by your internal self, but witnessed on the outside here. And so I think that that's part of it as to why things can be so intense and things can be so fast-tracked. It's working lovely, actually, with everyone. That was a lot for just a silver card, but you know, okay. So, and then, like I say, Pluto here, if you think about Pluto, her card shows very nicely of the destruction or the disintegrating of this spider web. What was once created, what was once maybe even a safety net in a dark place is now disintegrating. And so the things that you could grasp on to keep you just kind of hanging in there, but not fully in this Pluto energy, maybe hanging around it always, is not going to be there for you to crawl on. So something is being destroyed so that another web can be woven or weaved. Something new to create, and of course this has to do with some sort of transformation. And so the spark of light this is the evidence to me. This is showing up as light. This is the evidence. This is the spark of light that you are needing. Here it is. I see their signs and synchronicities as being lots of different sparks also. There's so many different sparks of light. There's not just one. You can imagine if you're in some situation where you do have a lot of smoke, the spark of light would actually show you which way to go, or it would give you a signal of what's going on in what place. I think that's what the spark is trying to do during a time where there might be a lot of smoke. Yeah, okay. You know, let's get the tarot, and then I'll pull from the 108 deck. So tired and I couldn't even sleep. It's also talking about homelessness, and that is a big issue. That is something to talk about, is thinking that it breaks my heart to think that somebody would be somewhere where they're just so tired. They're just so worn out from how much walking they've had to do, where they've had to go, and then they don't have a safe place. Oh. That type of uncomfortable bothers me, and those are the catalysts for change. You were there like a torch burning. High Priestess in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse. It's Time to be vulnerable. The ruler is going to change. Time to be vulnerable. Open up. The energies that are associated with we can solve everything with money are changing drastically. And Spirit is here to say these old ways of not using intuition and love, not using common freaking sense, you know, when it comes to, if I have so much control and money and resources, but I have an issue using my intuition, my heart, and quite frankly, common sense. There's something corrupt about this, and that, okay, that's what's changing. So it's not going to be looking up to the person here that maybe has the most money or clout, because we're looking for leaders that follow their heart. You could have a lot of money and still follow your heart. Let me say that, because it's not about Xing people out or crossing people off a list at all. It is just about saying that there's a corruptness when you feel like money can solve everything. There's a disregard of human feeling and complete intuition, common sense, right? What's popping in my head is a person seeing a video of a family where they had lost everything in the flood, everything, phones, everything, and they go to the humanitarian aid provided by government. This was provided by the government, and they're turned away because they don't have a proper ID. They're turned away. And so they're sitting in a car with, now they can't get the fuel voucher. They can't get the access to the food they're wanting, and they can't get the free phones that were being handed out because they lost all that. That, my friend, is use of power and authority without common sense. All right. I just had to say something about that. It's just really, I was like, God. All right, so King of Cups. It's ruling with the heart space. Common sense of the heart. Maybe it is a total eclipse of the heart. Seeing something clearly. That's like not in a fog so much, and really wanting to speak up about it. Whatever it is for you, I feel like you're a champion of a cause. A champion of a cause, and it's supposed to be different for everybody so that we all make individual small ripples that end up having broad effects. Well, justice energy is here in a sense. This is Libra. I feel justice being decided upon. It's time to make a decision here with our spiritual eyes. As you see, the physical eyes are covered. It's a big decision, though. There's a lot of water in between this person and the next spot of land. So there's a lot of mental emotion that is tied in to this decision. Mental emotion. This is not a think quick thing. This is something that has been thought about for a while. And so it's like needing to see clearly. Hard to do when there's so much smoke around, though. But I think that this is seeing something clearly, seeing two sides. puzzle piece. Finding the puzzle piece for a world completion, or completion towards a new world, so to speak. Feels like Spirit is saying that there is a completion here. New chapter with this World card. And no more patience. Both of these cards, the Hangman in the reverse and the Seven of Pentacle in the reverse, can indicate no more patience for this. No more tolerating something. No more investing our money into things that we don't agree with, as far as no more sacrificing. We know that there's a new chapter, and therefore that is what we want to invest in. And no patience for the smoke anymore. Only clarity and big decisions now. And the Nine of Pentacle on the bottom could be talking about entrepreneurship. It does signify that something with money is going to be extremely good for you. You are the wounded soldier, but you persist. Still standing for what you stand for. Acknowledging that it's been somewhat of a, not somewhat, it's been a spiritual battle up to this point. This is showing the spirit strength in you, the spirit of warrior in you. Wow. Here to bring end to certain things. Wow, for a new cycle, because this one is saying persist. You're here to end something, maybe a way of thinking, maybe the way things are done with the smoke, with the lack of common sense, but the lot of money issue, and the end of delay and change being brought in fairly quick at this point. Like I said, I think the changes come as quick as the spiritual process has been here lately, the sped up spiritual growth. This does represent a lot of spiritual growth and strength, this complete ending. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that's the end of delayed change, big decisions made, because there's a new cycle. There's a new cycle for everybody to experience. So I will pull some from the 108 and wrap it up with that. That's good. That's a good message. Yeah, this could be what it feels like. Cabin, lonely. They could be saying get out into nature, though, and spend some time disconnecting from everything. Okay, close. You get what I'm saying. To close off and go within. This is the justice, the sword and scales. It is what that card was coming across to me as, was this justice, the scales balancing out. It says, hear me out. Hear me out. And the checkered flag, the conclusion, finishing first, feeling relieved, endings, new chapter. And then Spirit does this. Like, I got this. Bedroom, sexual fulfillment. Oh, wow. Look what they did. They brought out the sixes. Okay. This has us re-examine exactly where we are and say, where do I want to see this going? Okay. So maybe that came out for the bedroom, but it does say alone time, astral time, call it a day. But does say sexual fulfillment too. Flag, it says achievement, recognition, overthrow, success, victory. Plans are coming to fruition. And the alarm clock has the spiritual alarm clock for change is going off. Bodybuilder, power, strength, forceful, determined. No longer being silenced is what I'm getting. No longer being silenced. Self-improvement, exercise. That's what this says. And we'll end it with the angel number, actually. This is crazy. That's crazy. Well, sixes show we're bringing love, balance, and harmony into this situation, whatever this is for you. Master number 55. Substantial change is in your future. Embrace the change and need to overcome your insecurities. Let go of your fears. I am evolving. 88. You are on the cusp of a prosperous, abundant spiritual life. You will find numerous opportunities for success and achievement, all of which will bring financial and material abundance into your life. I am wealthy is what I've got. I'm sending you love. Bye.